right, we are back in South Carolina. I am stoked to continue on the Foothills Trail. Got John here taking me over to Sloan Bridge where I left off.
Howdy.
Thanks very much, John, for being willing to meet me as early as you could.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
it's a beautiful day, man. You're gonna have a great hike.
You said you live like an hour and 10 minutes south of the area.
I'm a little more than an hour from this area,
and,
but it's okay.
Have animals to feed in the morning, and I know they're not as flexible as you and I are about their meal times.
Right.
So,
yep.
But John got here as soon as he could, so I could get the earliest start possible. I appreciate it. So you do regular shuttle service in the area, right?
That's correct.
Did you want to give viewers information on it?
My wife and I do most of the shuttles. Carla actually does 90% of them, and she's available. You can find her on the Foothills Trail website. Also,
yes, foothillstrail.org.
Right. She's got a phone number too. Is 202-999-8069, and she does most of the shuttles, and I fill in when she's not around. Right now she's out of town. So
weather forecast for the next 5 days is fantastic. If it does take me 6, there might be a little rain that I encounter at the end, but other than that, it should be great. All right, thanks for chatting with us, John.
Absolutely, man. You're off for a fantastic trip. There's a lot to see.
And we are on the trail. It's about 9:15 a.m. and we're doing it, folks. So let me do a few acknowledgments right here at the beginning. I want to thank all of my loved ones who gave me a lot of moral support and encouragement when I told them I was considering coming back at this time to try and finish. And I won't lie to you, I was a little nervous about it because, you know, it was like the trail was saying to me, oh yeah, you want another piece of me? You coming back for more? And after kicking my butt the first 24 miles, yeah, I still have 2/3 to go. So yeah, I won't lie, I was a little nervous. The rest of the trail is going to be even more demanding in terms of the terrain, but all my loved ones were like, excellent, yes, you can do it, you know. So appreciate that. I needed that. I didn't ask for that kind of support, but I needed it. And then also, you know, thanks to Half Mile, because I first asked her, do you want me to wait until you're able to come back here with me before I, you know, go down to finish? And she said, no, go ahead. If you've got the opportunity, go for it. So then, when, you know, with Ramdino's group back in December, I don't know how many people started, but I'd say fewer than half finished. So also among those who did not finish were Linda, and Greyhound, the ladies that I camped with the first night at Sims Field. And Greyhound made it the farthest to the Laurel Valley access, 61.7 miles. And then she had to get off because she did something silly, which is she tried to do a 20-mile day, and she had knee problems after that and then had to be picked up, which is another reason I kind of regret not having continued on the trail at that time, because we were going about the same pace. We were leapfrogging each other, and she ended up behind the rest of the group and by herself. So potentially we could have synced up, and that would have been nice to just hike the rest of it with her, and I maybe would have been able to talk her out of that 20-mile day attempt, because I know I wouldn't. I'm not going to do a 20-mile day out here. Anyway, yeah, Greyhound got picked up at mile 61.7, but then just after I had decided I was going to come back to try to finish, she posted on YouTube. Her channel is called Hiking Movie. She does great videography, and she posted a video of her coming back to finish the rest of the Foothills Trail. And I thought, oh, excellent, she did it. That inspires me. Also, one of the Lindas came back later on and finished it as well. So, you know, now I got to do it too. And then, last but most importantly, today is March 5th, so we are starting this mission on Matt's birthday. Now, Matt is no longer with us, and we miss him. And we're gonna go over here and check out this view. We're gonna get to Table Rock in honor of Matt. He taught me a lot. He opened my eyes and my mind to new ways of thinking, and my life has been appreciably better because of it. So, Matt, we're going to Table Rock in your honor. So I'm trying to get over here where I see Foggy Mountaintop, and that is that a view of Lake Jocassee? Surely we're not getting a view of that lake so early, are we? I don't know, or it could be some inlet to it. We could look at a map later and see. But we've got lots of views ahead of us on this trail. It's going to be fantastic. The weather forecast for these next 5 days, including today, is just unbelievable. Temperatures, in the upper 60s, sometimes in the 70s, and at night, like in the 40s. In about a mile, we should reach the state line and cross into North Carolina. State line. Now, I thought the guidebook said that there would be a bench here, but I don't see any bench. Farther down, maybe? We're in North Carolina. I don't know what song that is, but it's a callback, sing-along song. Everybody say... Everybody say... Alright, time to have our first meal out here. Coconut curry chickpeas. This packet weighs 10 ounces, so it's the only one of these I have, and it's the only food item this heavy. So that's why it's our first meal. Reduce our payload by 10 ounces. Get it out of the pack and into the digestive tract. You didn't see much of this when I was here before, but we've got the Foothills Trail guidebook, which you can order from foothillstrail.org. And on the inside of the back cover, very handy, it's got the different campsites. There are 21 designated campsites along the trail, which is pretty nice for a 76.2 mile trail. So what we want is the third column, and read it bottom to top. So we started at mile 23.6 right in here. We're on our way tonight to the Whitewater campsite at mile 32. So that'll be 8.6 miles for the day, which I think is a reasonable start, and I'd like to go farther, and I'm sure that notice the next campsite, Coley Creek, is at 35.3, so it's another 3.3 miles up. So I know it's going to happen. When we get to Whitewater, I'm going to think, man, it's so early, and I've got another 3.3 miles in me. I'm going to want to go to Coley Creek. But as I told Half Mile, talking about my plan, I'm 98% certain that I'm going to force myself to stay there at Whitewater tonight and just kill time at the campsite and whatever, because I just want to make sure that I don't overdo it on the first day. My tentative plan is to be out here for 6 days. So certainly one can cover 53 miles in 6 days, even on a demanding trail, and portions of this are going to be quite demanding. So we've got the time. Let's not rush. We're going to savor this experience. 5.9 miles to go for the day. And down off the trail, along a little blue blazed spur is the Round Mountain campsite, 0.2 miles down that way. So we sticking with the white blazes and continuing on this way. And as we come right along here, we get what might be our first view of Lake Jocassee. We're going to be looking at that lake a lot as we skirt it to the west and then to the north and then to the east. Here's a spot with a bench and another bench. And let's check out the view. Not far down, another 2 benches and another great view. All right, 1 meal in the belly. And I've done this a couple of times now. It might be my new tradition, like my regular habit, is to bring along 1 package of Bean Vivo and then eat it as my first meal, because not only is it hearty and delicious, give me some good energy for the rest of the day, but I can go down the trail celebrating the fact that I lightened my load by over ½ pound. Yes. Look, 2 benches. It must be time for another view. Now the double blaze there just indicates a switchback here to your right. But, oh yeah, got a fairly unobstructed view. Mile 27.3, a switchback to the right is a spectacular viewpoint with 2 benches. That's where we are now. So 0.3 miles to water and 1 mile to a road crossing, Route 281. Then a descent, and at 28.7, a short spur to the left leads uphill to a restroom and parking area above. So, in case we need a restroom at that time, we'll know about that. Looks like at some point today we got to go up a 33-foot set of stairs. And we're headed to mile 32. We take a spur trail to the right and go down 150 feet to Whitewater designated campsite, which has benches, fire ring, grill, and a bear bag cable, which we don't need because we have the canister. Water sources are below the campsite to the right and a rock outcrop to the left. Point of interest. So the anti-gravity gear pocket profile map says on it something like this. And when I didn't notice that at all when I was out here before, but it says it right at the top of the map above the elevation profile. It says, Boy Scouts have placed cisterns along the Foothills Trail, and when you see a waist-high post with a blue marker, that indicates one of these cisterns nearby. So those will collect water, and sometimes when the water source is not that great, like this, this is doable, but I guess you'd say it's not that great. But there should be a cistern here somewhere that you can still draw water from. So let's see. And there was one, we saw one when we were out here before, near the Hiker's Peril Falls, which is around mile 22 and a half or something like that. Do you see a cistern? I mean, we should be able to see the lid of the thing first. Let me grab my staff here. So I found a staff. It's not the best one, but it'll do for now. Well, it shouldn't be down here, right? down the water source is heading down that way. So, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe there was one here and they removed it, or, you know, they're doing something, they're going to bring it back. I don't know. But I don't see one here. Anyway, when we come to the next post like that, we'll see if indeed there is a cistern there. All right, so we should be approaching a small stream, which we cross on rocks, and that should be a better place that we can replenish our water. Doing fine right now, but we will fill up at the next opportunity. And again, here's Lake Jocassee, which I think is the right pronunciation, on our left now because we've switched back. All right, we're at the point where we cross Route 281. So, 47.9 miles to go to Table Rock. Whitewater Falls, 0.8 of a mile. But now this sign over here says, no view of the falls beyond this point. This trail only leads to the Whitewater River. So, and this is the main trail, so maybe there is some side trail that you have to take in order to see Whitewater Falls. But we're not doing any side trails. It'll be enough. I'm content with the challenge that we have. So we're going to stay on the main trail. Maybe another time, to take side trails, check out other things. There will be plenty to see on the main trail. Lots of spectacular beauty. So I won't say we're not missing anything. It's just that we'll still get a lot. Onward. 3.9 miles now to camp. Whitewater Falls overlook, 1/10 of a mile that way. Down that way. It doesn't look too bad. It's tempting. It's really tempting. But nope, we're not going to be tempted. We're going this way. We go down there. Maybe we'll still get some kind of a view of something. Not the falls, but something. I know people who have been here are going to say, oh my gosh, you really should have gone down there. It's so worth it. But nah, we're just sticking to the main path. Not going to try to do anything crazy. It's only day one. 47.1 miles to go to Table Rock. Rock steps. I hear lots of water in front of us. I'm sure down at the bottom of this canyon is the Whitewater River. I'm facing a bit of a quandary, because when you get just before the Brown Bridge there, so there's the rock with the posts, and it's not much of a railing. The wires move, but the posts are pretty stable. But when you get to the end of that, notice there, I don't know if you can appreciate how big the space is from this angle, but you got to jump from the one rock onto the next, and there's not a whole lot of clearance there on the other side in case you stumbled forward, for instance. And I don't know if I can make that jump. I certainly don't like the looks of it. So I was eyeballing it to see if there might be a way. I could certainly go down here, and I could probably get up that rock from the side. But with those two sort of cables in the way, those wires, I'm not sure how I'm going to get my pack over that and onto the bridge so that I can then sort of crawl under the cable or whatever. So, I don't know. I wonder if I should take my pack off and then just go down there and do a reconnaissance mission. Or maybe go with my pack just to make sure that I can get up there with it. But otherwise I have to kind of make a little leap right there, and it's just, maybe I can do it with no problem, but I picture myself losing my balance on the landing, and then there's nowhere to go. Alright, I've come up onto this rock on my hands and knees, and here's what the jump looks like from this angle. When you land on this side, there are those things in there, and the rock is not flat. I mean, it's I don't like the looks of that at all. Like, where are you supposed to step? And then what happens if you stumble forward or backward? I mean, yikes. All right, so let's see if I can get my pack onto the bridge. Success. Now to get myself onto the bridge. Woo. We made it. Oh, there's Whitewater Falls, right up there. And there are some people who took a different trail, I think. I see the other side of the bridge is going to be no picnic also. I guess you got to go down here, and then I assume there, and climb up that stuff, and the trail picks up at the top of the bank over there. Can't exactly tell. So I've had enough experiences now to be able to maybe give this advice, and I'm sure other, more experienced hikers know this, but when you encounter something and you're just like, there's no way I can do that, it's impossible, right? Just hang there for a little while and look it over and think about it, and just start slicing and dicing every which way, because I've stood here for the last 3 minutes or so looking at that sort of slide right there and picturing myself not being able to do it, falling backwards, and then with my backpack against this thing, bouncing and just going face forward right into that rock or whatever, right? So I've been trying to figure out how in the heck to navigate down there. Well, I stood here long enough and happened to look over this way and noticed that this route down there and then down to the bottom is probably much more doable for me, and that's the way I can get over there. Once you get up there, you do have to climb up that stuff to get back on the trail on that side. The 3 people who just came from that direction confirmed that for me. So climbing that is going to be interesting. Although sometimes things are not as bad as they look, you know. Who knows? Maybe that's not actually so bad. Maybe I should mix up a liquid IV before I take on this challenge. All right, this looks more like it. I think this is Cannon Creek. What do we got on the other side, though? An enormous drop-off? Oh, steps. Thank goodness. Here it looks like you're coming to a nice camping area, but it says no camping within the Whitewater corridor. And right here, I believe we're crossing back into South Carolina. I think that's what the guidebook said at the Duke Energy sign. So start Duke Power section of trail. And I believe the guidebook said that from here to Table Rock, the trail is maintained by Duke Energy Company. And so I believe this is their land here, which is why you can't camp there. So we do have to get up to where, of course, we're going on to the Whitewater designated campsite anyway. But even though that looks like a pretty sweet spot right back there, not permitted. So here we've come to the Bad Creek access spur trail. So White Blazes Foothills Trail, Blue Blazes spur to Lower Whitewater Falls overlook. I think that means the Blue Blazes this way, but the Blue Blazes this way is the Bad Creek access. So you cross here, which is this the Whitewater River again? I'm not sure. This isn't Foothills Trail. I'm just stepping over here to have a look. But, okay, there's a second bridge there, if you can see it. And then I guess that goes down to a parking area somewhere. But the road that accesses that parking area, I don't know. It seems like it's 7/10 of a mile to the access point. And I really thought that that was just like for boat access. But I don't know. Somebody knows. So we're headed that way. And I think we have 6/10 of a mile now to what do you call, Whitewater campsite. All right, Whitewater campsite. So, Coley Creek, another 3.3 miles that way. Do I wish I could go ahead and do it? Yes. Am I going to? No. I'm gonna make myself stay here. It might be about 4:30. I know it's after 4 o'clock. So we go down that way, and we should find what we need. And, Whitewater River corridor. Okay. So let me see. All right, here's the state line, and we crossed, well, we got dropped off pretty close to the line. It was maybe 1.4 miles of trail to cross into North Carolina. And let's see, we did not do the spur trail or overlook. I'm guessing this is the Foothills Trail here. So yeah, here's where we crossed the Whitewater River and came back into North Carolina. And down, okay, the Bad Creek access bridge is there. So that's across the Whitewater River like we thought. And then up to here, and camping areas down there. Looks like tomorrow we cross back into North Carolina for a spell. All right, let's see what we got down here. Wow, look at the size of that camping area. There's a ring of benches over there. Pretty cool. Wonder if anyone will be joining me tonight. Oh, and then there's another set of benches right there. Got this hillside all around. Beautiful. Bear bag cable down that way. So down, let's see, do I see it? Yeah, it's where those orange markers are. That's the cable there. So you can hang your food bag over there. But we've got a canister, so we're good. All right. Is this the best way down? I guess so. All right, so I'll have to remember in the morning that that's the way back to the trail. I think we can manage. But I don't think I have any phone service here, so I won't be able to let my people know that I made it to camp. But I did give them updates along the way.